Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, well, it's a special edition of the Redmen TV with the breaking news coming out of Liverpool Football Club is that Alberto Aquilani has finally cut ties with the club on a permanent basis and has joined Fiorentina of Serie A. Yeah, to be honest, I think we all expected this, didn't we? It's been on the cards for a few days now, but finally confirmed by Liverpool Football Club. It's going to cause a mixed reaction, this. It caused it when the speculation originally sort of came out, when he apparently travelled straight to Italy instead of coming back to England with the club on the back of the US tour. I think a lot of people are really sort of pissed off that we've not kept hold of him because he looked quite good in pre-season. Where have we heard that before? But obviously equally some people think it's a great idea that we finally got shut of him, got his wages off the books, if nothing else. Obviously we want to know your opinions on this. It's definitely going to polarise opinions to a certain extent, so please do leave your comments in the comment section below. For me, I feel somewhere between two stools on this. I think he's clearly a naturally talented footballer, and I don't know, I mean the argument can be made, does he possess the physical qualities required to play centre mid in the Premier League week in, week out? Probably not. I think we've seen enough to be able to suggest that, but you know, he's definitely a talented fella. His ball control is excellent, his range of passing is fantastic, he's got a reasonable eye for goal, and I think going back to sort of the last Rafa Benitez's last season, the last few games when he really started to find his form, he started to gel with the players around him and he looked the real player. I think a lot of us were a bit surprised when the Hodge came in and decided he was surplus to requirements. But I think the problem is that a lot of people are blaming Brendan Rodgers for this, and I say a lot. That's not true. A select band of idiots are blaming Brendan Rodgers for this. And what can you say? Look, the fact of the matter is, Alberto Aquilani should not have been Brendan Rodgers' player to sell. He should have been gone 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. That's the simple fact of the matter. You know, 2 years ago, he obviously went to Juventus on loan, didn't he? And Juventus reneged on a loan to buy agreement at the end of the season, so we ended up with him back. He should have gone then. Then we did exactly the same thing again. AC Milan decided to fuck us over this time round. They should have bought him, they didn't, and we're stuck with him. And the fact of the matter is, in any other normal situation, Alberto Aquilani just simply would not have been a Liverpool player this season to begin with. So in many respects you've got to imagine that there's been plans in place for the money that we will get back by not having to pay his wages, and maybe any money that we will recoup on transfer funds, which you can't imagine is anything close to the reported 18 million that we spent on him in the first place. But that said, if we can get a few million in, and if he's on, or was on I should say, the £125,000 a week that the Liverpool Echo was reporting, then you know that's a massive amount of money that you can reinvest in the squad straight off the bat. Now we discussed this at length. I'm not going to go into this too much because this is like the 3rd occasion I've talked about it this week. We discussed it at length on the subscriber show. We had the big Aquilani debate. It was fantastic, and those of you who are maybe a little bit upset or unsure as to the reasons why we would get rid of a player like Aquilani, really need to watch this show, because basically what we did was he took Aquilani's stats based on the high point of his Liverpool career, the sort of the back end of his first season at Liverpool, and compared it to some of the midfielders who a lot of people have deemed him to be better than, who are at the club right now. So we've compared him to Jonjo Shelvey, Charlie Adam and Jordan Henderson as well. Now I know there's a lot of stigmas that come attached to several of those players, Charlie Adam, but a few of the results might surprise you. Now I'm not going to give away too much. You've got, and this is the problem with Aquilani, is you just don't know what to believe, because you've got his agent coming out and saying he's not going anywhere, and then Aquilani's saying I never wants to leave Liverpool, I've always wants to prove myself here, I don't know why I keep getting found out.
It's a Dave Whelan of agents, isn't he?
And then there'll be a quote from an Italian media which is, God, I can't stand English weather, hate it there, the fucking culture's terrible, just
fish and chips is a bag of wine.
Please get me out. I don't know, it can't be, whatever you want to say about Hodgson, Rafa, and now you've got Kenny, and now Rodgers have all passed him over.
Just want one of them to come out and say he was an absolute bellend.
Yeah.
And then get rid of it. At least then you'd have closure on it.
Here's the fucking headline, back of the Liverpool Echo, Aquilani, bellend. Well, please do watch the show. It's on the Redmen TV. It's free for the month. Give it a whirl. It's worth trying out just to have a look at that. There's shitloads of stuff on there as well. There's a full interview with Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush, Rafa Benitez, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher et al. A load of extra bonus content, sketches and what have you, and this week's 2-hour subscriber show in 2 parts, including, as mentioned, the big Aquilani debate. So please do check it out. If you think it's shit, you can just cancel it. No harm, no foul, as they say. Anyway, as I say, leave your comments. Let us know what you think of the Aquilani transfer, and we shall see you back here next week, hopefully with an alive Chris, who's currently on the stag do. Please don't forget to keep tweeting him with the hashtag #KillChris. Yes, anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Ta.